afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mayo Clinic Square. To those of you in attendance here today, my name is Alan Horton, the radio play-by-play voice of the Timberwolves. A special welcome to our guest of honor, Karl-Anthony Towns, along with his family and friends that are here with us today. Also, the mayor is along with us, Jacob Fry. Welcome to Jacob. And to everyone joining us on Valley Sports North, NBA TV, and Timberwolves.com. Everyone listening on the Timberwolves Radio Network, and those of you joining us via Zoom. Today we're excited to celebrate Karl and his commitment to the Timberwolves and the state of Minnesota after signing his contract extension. On the basketball court, Karl is one of the best players in franchise history. A three-time NBA All-Star, two-time All-NBA selection, former Rookie of the Year, franchise leader in three-pointers made, former three-point champion at the All-Star contest, and he has led the Timberwolves to the postseason twice in the last 5 seasons. Off the court, Karl has been just as impressive, a pillar in the Twin Cities community. He is giving back on a variety of platforms. He has advocated for vaccine education, working closely with the NBA and Q Health in providing test kits in his home state of New Jersey and here in Minnesota. Karl donated to the George Floyd Memorial Foundation and has attended rallies throughout the Minneapolis community. And this year, he was named a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Social Justice Champion and a 2022 Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award finalist. Throughout his career, Karl has represented the organization with class and dignity, and today we're excited to celebrate him and all of his accomplishments. To tip off today's press conference, we'll hear from President of Basketball Operations, Tim Conley, followed by head coach Chris Finch. Then we'll get some comments from Karl, and then open it up to questions from the media. Tim?
You know, great day for the team, obviously. We all see how talented a player he is. But for the city and the state, his commitment to be a great teammate in the community is something pretty unique and special. You know, Karl's been through so much, and his unwavering commitment to this team and the city's pretty impressive. His best days are certainly ahead of him. We can't be any more excited about the team that we're going to see this fall. So thank you for being so dialed in. Thank you for caring about this city and this team so immensely. Thank you to your family. You know, it's an organizational commitment, and without you guys, certainly this day doesn't happen. And thank you for buying lunch. You certainly can afford it. Thanks, man. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and you're gonna be the center of it all. So thank you.
Chris?
Yeah, when I think about my time here, you know, Karl was probably the first person, well, definitely the first person to reach out and call me within moments of getting the job. And I say that just because he's been so important to everything that's happened here, certainly since he got here, but the momentum that we're starting to build right now, the support that he's given me and the rest of his teammates has been invaluable. And what you need to win a championship is a highly coachable superstar, talented player like Karl is. And he is the foundation of our new culture that's emerging here. So couldn't be more pleased to go forward with him. I hope that all my coaching years are tied closely to him and our success together.
I agree with that. I hope that too as well. Just really honored, privileged to be able to call Minnesota home for many more years, and after that, even more years. So I've said since day one that I call this place home. I said that since I came in. I said that since Flip called me after the draft day, and I was there, and everyone was at Target Center. I said this was home, and I never intended to lie to you. I really felt that. This place has been nothing but fabulous to me and my family, and has made this journey so fun, and it has made this journey so worth it. So I'm just very honored to be able to put that Timberwolves jersey on for many more years to come, and I'm honored that I get a chance to do it with these wonderful guys next to me. So the future of this team and this organization is bright, and it's time to shine.
We'll open up to some questions now. We've got a couple of microphones being passed around, so please state your name and your affiliation before asking your question. John?
Athletic. Sorry about that. John Krasinski from The Athletic. Karl, when this thing came together really quickly, as soon as it was ready to go and you could sign it, you did. I just wonder, as you went through the calculus of thinking about committing to this for the long term and all the change that has happened up until this point, how much did this last year of kind of getting your feet underneath you again and having the team show some progress help make that decision maybe a little bit easier and quicker?
Oh, tremendously. I mean, very much. I think me and Finch had many conversations, and he just knew how committed I was to this team and how much I was committed to wanting to continue to make this keep going, keep the momentum going. And I think last year after me talking to a bunch of NBA players and front office people and us, the NBA is aware of who we are now. We set out to go out there and make noise and make sure everyone knew exactly that this ain't the Timberwolves that they're used to. And we've done that. Everyone's very aware, and they're going into offseason thinking about how they're going to beat us. So why not keep that momentum going? Why not change the game? Why not bring a championship or bring that basketball that the fans and everyone here has been yearning for so much? Let's bring it back. And let's bring it back not just for 1 year and then everyone gets excited and it's over, but let's do this consecutive years in a row. Let's make a run. And I just saw the vision we had. I saw, obviously just past basketball. I love living here. I love being here. I love everything that comes with being a Minnesota. So I just wanted to go out there and I wanted to get it done. I didn't want it to be on no one's plate. I wanted us to be truly focused on getting everything we needed right for our upcoming season, so we could be, hopefully they could be making a 30 for 30 and something out of it. I don't know.
Jace Frederick, Pioneer Press. Karl, you've been committed to this organization through a lot of bad times too. Did it remove some stress from the occasion this time around to be able to commit to something good?
Two different situations for sure. The other one I did it like the day before training camp, and this one I did it the first couple hours I got a chance to. So it just shows you the faith I have not only in Finch but in Tim and just this whole organization. I see what they're building. So I'm very excited about everything that's going to happen. I'm very excited about where this team is going. I'm very excited not only where the organization but this city. The city is yearning. The people are yearning. The fans are yearning. And it's only right to give the kids here who felt that they never had a chance to see championship basketball. Let's make a run to give it to them.
Mike Max, WCCO. Karl, what did Gobert signing mean to you, or the deal to bring Gobert here? What did that mean to you in terms of commitment, and what do you expect playing with it?
I expect a lot of winning for sure. So it's just a lot of winning from everything. I want to win. I want to, like I said, I'm not up here just blowing smoke. I really want to try to bring a championship run here to Minnesota, and I think that Rudy adds a huge component to that. He's going to be a massive part of us being a championship team, and my job is to help him as much as he's going to help me. His strengths are my weaknesses, and his weaknesses are my strengths. So we'll be able to play off of each other.
Karl, Michael Rand, Star Tribune. I was going to ask about Gobert as well, but maybe we can expand on that. How much were you kind of in the loop as discussions like that were happening, especially because a lot of us notice you guys have played the same position in the past? What does that mean to you kind of stylistically? Yeah.
I was actually, weirdly enough, my phone was off. I was working out in London. So I was working out in London, and I came back to it because my phone was completely off. So I was excited like everyone else, I think. I didn't know exactly what was happening, but I just knew that with the man to my right, I know if he had felt in his heart that it was the right thing to do, then I'm with him 120%. There's never going to be a time we're going to ever walk this walk and he's going to walk it by himself. I'm always going to be with him in any step of the way. The same way with Finch, the same way with all the guys in here, and the same way with all the G Leaguers we have in Iowa. I always want to be there for them, and I'm never going to have them walk out, by themselves and feeling like they're by themselves in the journey, because I know how that felt, and I don't want none of them ever to feel that.
Pierre Nugent, Fox 9. Karl, you mentioned that, now that the extension is here and gone, you're looking forward to this. Would it be fair to say that perhaps you haven't been more excited for a season than the one coming up, given the pieces that are around you now and the opportunity for this team to kind of reach that next level that you've been waiting on since you've been here? It's
go time. I mean, it's just it. Trade happens. There's no more there's no more time. There's no more excuses. We got to get it done now. So I'm going to go out there and, it's championship now or bust. So got to go out there and get the job done.
Carl, what else would you like to see happen to get you to a championship level for this team as you assess what happened against Memphis and the deals that have been done?
Just we got the experience. I think that the last playoff series was really good for us because it gave us a lot of experience. We had a bunch of young guys, Jaden, Ant, Jalen, Noel, Nas, everyone got a lot of experience from it. Understood, what Coach Finch was preaching every day about the little things are going to add up when we need the wins. And, so we got experience. We even got more experience now. We got the right coach. We got the right front office. I think that is go time.
Britt Robson with MinPost. Carl, what physically and mentally do you have to change coming into this season as a power forward as opposed to a center primarily?
Honestly, nothing. I feel like I just got to come in and play my game at a higher level and just continue to find ways where I could benefit Rudy even better. There's going to be times where Rudy's not going to be on the court. I'm going to be the center again. So it's going to be that way. There's going to be times where Rudy will look like he's playing the power forward and I'm playing the center. It's just going to be that way. When you have a genius like him, I think anything's possible, and we're going to be, yeah, I said that. Let me give you your flowers, bro. He hates that. I love it. I love making him uncomfortable with some flowers. So, I just do my job at the highest level possible, play at that MVP level. I know I can and have shown, and just continue to push that out for 82 games and, let the chips fall where they fall.
Hey, Chris, so how do you see Carl's game continuing to evolve here now? I mean, he's going to be here for a long, long time, and how you continue to kind of maybe structure and change things to help him get to another level as well?
Well, I think the beauty of Carl's game is he's not one-dimensional. He's not two-dimensional. He's a multi-dimensional player. I think there's aspects to his game that we, can still unlock. Move him at different spots on the floor, maybe put him in actions that people of his size generally are not in. That's the luxury we have. That's the fun part. We think about what we might be able to do there. Defensively, we're going to have to get a little bit creative. Some nights it might be different. But we feel with Cat's skill set, just like my first half season to my second half season, he was very different in some of the things we did. We posted him up a lot, year one, year two. We faced a lot of double teams, so we kind of shied away from that, and we used him mostly from attacker from the perimeter. I can see him, getting a lot more just clean spot looks right now, and we've been encouraging him to take more threes and add that. He's one of the best shooters in the league, irrespective of position. So if you're really, really good at something, we kind of like you to do more of that.
Yeah, I think it goes back, not even from a talent aspect, a basketball aspect, but just him as a person. He's like a sponge. He always wants to absorb information. He wants to get better. He's looking to always achieve that next level. And because of that, we're able to have those conversations that need to be had to be able to get to that next level. He trusts me, and that speaks volumes about someone as talented as him. And he just believes in us. So because of that belief, because of who he is as a person, which we all know is not only charismatic but a very good person as well, it allows us to have that kind of relationship. And he's fantastic. And because of that, I think this year is going to be his best year. I think that he's going to find himself not only with the experience from last year, from not only the playoffs, but just the entire year, seeing how people were guarding him. It's not going to get any easier, understanding where he's going to be able to pick his spots even better. And now with Rudy, I feel like it's going to be his best year. I think he's going to have that leap everyone wants him to do, plus some. And his shot is just looking great like last year. I just see the world for him, I just see it because, now Rudy and me out there, you never know. 4 or 5 pick and roll, you're going to have to guard both of us. Ant's at the wing waiting for that wing kick out. Now he has a one-on-one against anybody with no paint protection, so could look really nice for him. So, yeah.
Tim, this offer
to Carl seemed like a foregone conclusion for a while. So for you coming in, did you just want to make sure like the pen had ink, or what was the role for you in this?
No, I think it's, again, speaks to his sense of loyalty and commitment. Carl's seen a lot of faces in my seat, in Finchy's seat, and when you lack that continuity, I don't think it was a foregone conclusion. I think what he says, he obviously believes because he's up here, but we want to ensure to Carl and his family and Jess that we were serious about winning. We were serious about trying to achieve things that this team's never achieved, and we didn't want to take this commitment for granted. The 29 other teams would have happily done the same, but I think it's such a testament to who he is as a person that through all this lack of continuity and the countless different faces and a lot of rough times, he's seen the good in the organization, in the city, and this is a well-earned moment where we can say, better days are ahead of us, and thanks for sticking with us.
Cat Darren Wolfson from Channel 5. On the man to your right, just in what, 2 months or even less than 2 months, just how strong is that bond with Tim?
We've had a lot of discussions, and I trust him. I knew that he came in with such high regards from so many people, and then actually getting the chance to speak to him and operate with him through this contract and everything. I just know that the organization is in great hands. So we're in a great spot. Like I said, I feel like all the pieces are there for us to have a championship culture and a team here. So now it's up to us to just go out there and get it done. And I think that everyone on this team who we've already spoke to, all the guys have already spoke to each other, we all are extremely excited to play with each other, but we also have the same goal in mind. We all know it's championship or bust, and we're going to go out there and try to get it.
Carl, Jack Borman from SB Nation. You've seen a lot of different faces in the locker room over the course of your career. Haven't experienced a lot of continuity, but you've learned a lot. What do you think you've learned the most that'll help you be able to be the leader that everybody looks to as you try and build this new culture and this new era of Timberwolves basketball?
First off, never forget who I am. Just be me. It's as simple as that. That's the first thing, the first building block in everything. And being a leader is just being myself. And going out there, being me, and then working tremendously hard like I always do, be the first one and the last one out, showing them how to take care of their body and preaching, and then also doing what I preach. So just being me and going out there and using the experience I have to understand how situations are going to play out a little differently. And because I've been in so many situations, just knowing how to maneuver it, because in those situations I've been in, some of them I made mistakes, some of them I did the right thing, but in all of those I garnered experience. So just you're taking that experience and moving forward with it.
Carl, you talked about spending years and years beyond this in Minnesota. Is this about as likely as it's ever felt that you could spend your whole career here, and maybe the best you felt about that possibility?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was confident. My dream was always to try to retire here and live every single day of my NBA career as a Wolf. So, obviously, I'm deeper into my career, new contract. I feel very good with the possibility of that happening, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Like I said, I'm very comfortable here. I'm very comfortable living here. I'm very comfortable spending my days here. I'm very comfortable after the games, snow, whatever it may be, going home and feeling super comfortable. And it's not only because of this place. I think it has a special energy, not just Target Center, but just Minnesota has a special energy when you're living here. It's something that brings a deep sense of comfort, but just the guys, the people in this organization, the people in the locker room, the friends I've been able to make here in Minnesota, it just feels like home. It's just as simple as to say.
More questions? We'll do a photo opportunity up here on the stage with Tim and Carl and Chris. All right, that'll conclude today's press conference. Thank you to Tim Conley and Karl-Anthony Towns and Chris Finch, as well as everyone here at Mayo Clinic Square. A reminder that both Tim and Chris will be available over by the backdrop to my right. Thanks for being here every day, and have a great day.
Now that he's back from his European jaunt, he can go grab a burger and just talk shop and talk about his family, talk about things he cares about. So I think it'll happen organically. I didn't want to come in here and try to recruit relationships. I think that's not the right way to kind of develop organically.
In terms of having just like the foundation of a star player locked in for a long term, and I mean Rudy's got a long contract now too, and Ant's going to be here for a while. What does that do for just the organization to have that stability underneath all of that?
Yeah, it's wonderful, and we're very fortunate. Again, I think you asked the question down to was it a foregone conclusion for Karl. He has seen so much. He's seen a lot of tough days. So it was so exciting to hear how excited he was about Finchy and his teammates, and how willing he was to quickly get this done. But organizations like ours, to have continuity and have elite talent who are locked up contractually and who want to be here, it's pretty rare to see a non-glamour market have guys like that who are locked up. And again, there's an overwhelming sense of just excitement about this season. I was just on the phone with D'Lo for a long time. He's so fired up. So it's neat. It's these guys deserve it. The city deserves it. The fans deserve it. And fingers crossed, I think we had a chance to be pretty good.
Did you write down what Karl says about Minnesota as like your pitch to other players?
Karl's good. I think the mayor better watch out. No, he's told me the same thing as I've talked to a bunch of you guys off record. The basketball parts, just put a different polo shirt on and T-shirt. It's the same job for me. But in moving your family here, there's always some trepidation when you're leaving a place you really enjoyed. And the overwhelming sense of civic pride here has been consistent. At first, I thought it was just a sales pitch, but every restaurant I go to, every bar I go to, people love living here. So, and Karl has told me from jump, like, you're going to love living in Minnesota. The winters are overrated. I'm not excited to find out if that's factual or not, but it'll be fine. But he really loves Minnesota, and he's been consistent in that message to me and my family. So, I think we're pretty fired up, and we're fired up because of guys like Karl who really enjoy calling this place home.
Was it tough to give him the fifth-year player option?
I think when you achieve these extremely difficult benchmarks, I don't think there should be much negotiation. It's, when in 10s or 20s. It's not easy to qualify for what Karl qualified for. And again, the fact that he's so enthusiastic about this organization after seeing so many ups and downs, we were just happy to get it done.
Having a versatile big man as one of the foundations of your team, this is ongoing experience for you. How much does it make a difference in terms of when you're starting to build a team, or in your case here, abetting a team?
Right. Well, Karl is so uniquely gifted, he makes it hard because he's really a 5'4", a 4'5". He's a 4.5. offensively, there's nothing he can't do. I think he's probably the best shooting big in the world. I think he's a grossly underrated passer. He's played with bigs in the past in college, Willie Cauley-Stein, early in his career with Taj and Gorgie. So there's nothing he really can't do on that end. And with what we tried to identify was guys that could both help him and protect him. So when you have that unique skill set and you combine it with a guy like Rudy, it's going to make it tough on the opponent. We're going to be different. Kind of zag when a lot of teams are zigging right now, but we're okay with being different. We have an unbelievably creative coach, and Karl's versatility just allows you to do so many things. There's nothing you can't do in the basketball court.
What were his questions when he found out about this to you in terms of how he perceived you matching him and Rudy up?
Well, I talked to him a bunch prior to the trade, and to be honest with you, I forgot about him playing with big to big in Kentucky, and he raved about his ability to be a high post passer, and he raved about and he talked about the battles that he had with Rudy and how much respect he had for Rudy and how much winning matters to Rudy and how much winning they've enjoyed in Utah with kind of Rudy leading the charge. So he's such a good teammate. He said he doesn't know if you ask him if he's a 5 or 4. He just knows he's a basketball player. So his excitement level certainly spurred our excitement level, and eventually without his blessing, it would have been hard to get a deal done, but he was super excited.
You mentioned Karl's enthusiasm to be here, and with you building a new culture, just how much easier does it make the job for you and for Finch when you have someone with Karl's leadership ability and leadership qualities to be that guy in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't won at the highest level. I've never been in the finals. I've won a championship. So the places that we're talking about, I've never been there, so I can't speak with any real authority, but I can speak with a pretty good amount of confidence. If you don't have happy employees or colleagues, and employees wrong, colleagues, then it's hard to be successful. It doesn't matter if you're trying to win basketball games or if you're laying bricks. So, it's unrealistic to expect 15 people to be happy because not all going to play. But your key guys have to want to be here, have to be bought in fully to the coach and the system, the organization, and our key guys are all in. So that gives you a puncher's chance. You combine that with elite talent and a heck of a coach, and you're kind of like where we are.
Tim, didn't get a chance to talk about Bryn and Austin and now being a part of the team, bringing them in, and how excited you have both those guys.
Those guys are pros. They have so much experience. Bryn won a championship a couple years ago, so he can speak about what it's like to kind of raise a trophy. I think Austin's one of the elite defenders in our league. He's a guy that has played big roles for good teams for a long time. Both those guys are adults, and they're tough, and they bring playoff experience, which should help complement a young roster that's kind of saw playoffs for the first time in a long time last year.
Carl said it's championship or bust now. You good with that?
Listen, I'm not a zero-sum guy, so no. There's, I think our goal is to, be at the table. Our goal is to be a home court playoff team, and when we get there, how we get there, we got to be lucky. We have to be healthy. But I think when you're a home court playoff team, then you give yourself a chance to advance. And once you advance, it's matchups, it's health. Are you playing the hot team? Are you playing a team that's missing a player here and there? But we're hopeful that our foundation will allow us to be. That's a viable goal. Excuse me. In years past, I don't know if we could look ourselves in the mirror and say we have a chance to be a home court playoff team. So I think once you get there, you kind of throw the dice and see what happens. But I'm not all or nothing guy. It's a tough way to live life.
Are you done now for the summer?
I still got to move. I wish the moving trucks come soon. I don't know. I mean, you never know. I mean, we still got a couple of roster spots we're toying around with. We're trying to get a couple guys done. You never know when those calls come. I mean, the Rudy thing happened fairly quickly. But we like where we are. We think we have. When you look at our roster, we think we have pieces that protect, complement, augment each other. We think our two deep is pretty impressive. And again, we have some elite guys relative to their position, and we have a fantastic coaching staff. So we'd be excited to go into the training camp with the roster as this.
Thanks, Tim.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I
never get to change the bus.
Tell Carl about that, Tim.
I like it. Let the players say it. As long as the owners don't say it.
Exactly. There you go.
Best of luck with the move.
Thanks. Go to the Wings.
What's up? How you doing?
Good.
Hello.
Hello.
Is that the first you've heard that it's championship or bust now?
Oh, is it?
That's a Carl.
Oh, all right, great. I guess so. That's what we're in it for, right?
But Chris, just
Yeah.
like in terms of the expectation levels rising now.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
You have him locked up. You have Rudy here. You have Anson to be here a while. Like,
Yeah.
how do you plan on like addressing that, or like seeing how this team reacts to a whole different set of circumstances that way?
Well, I mean, the innocence is gone.
Yeah.
You know, there's always innocence in a team finding itself and starting to figure out how to win, and then, you know, stacking some wins on top of each other. But that's gone. You know, it goes back to building the right habits from day one. The expectations of success are the expectations that you do want. You have to embrace those. At the end of the day, like, you know, every season unfolds as it does, but we're excited about what we have and the potential that's inside of us. We just have to go out and figure out a way to maximize it, and that's our job as coaches, to put these guys in the position to do that, and then they got to do the work.
Chris, have you kind of marveled at all about the last year and a half, like when you got here, the struggle, and now we're up here talking about championship?
I mean, I'm not. I mean, listen, like you gotta crawl, walk, run in this stuff. We gotta make sure that we don't skip steps here. We don't look at it as a championship or bust. We just want to keep building. You know, for sure, we want to take massive steps forward from where we were a year ago. And you know, I think it's a testament to our young core. Like, starting to kind of figure out what the NBA is about. Kat and D'Lo deciding that winning is the most important thing for them, and that's just a normal kind of progression that all young players go through. And now we were able to add some kind of seasoned veterans alongside of that. So the mix is exciting. It just has to come together in the right way.
Chris, do you really hate it when Carl calls you a genius? 'Cause I kind of like it if someone called me a genius.
I mean, I stubbed my toe on the bed this morning. That doesn't seem very genius-like, you know. So, I mean, listen. What the most important thing is that players have faith in me and believe in what we're doing as a coaching staff. You know, the genius label is, I don't take too much out of that. So,
Chris, you were in the league for 10 years before getting here. Like,
right.
What, in terms of learning about Carl, getting up and close with him, differed from what you thought about, or just like, I guess the picture of working with him,
Yeah.
and kind of getting to know him and the player and the person versus what you might have thought coming in?
You know, he's more as a person. You know, I was just you know, obviously didn't know him at all as a person. Just saw him as a player. I think you know, it's just so thoughtful. Really is kind of a servant leader. He really wants the people around him to be treated well and handled well and respected well. And he always is looking out. He's very much a pleaser, which is great for his leadership qualities. You know, just very, very, very coachable, highly coachable as a player, and he's even way more skilled than I thought. You know, watching him from afar. So, been a joy to get to know him and coach him. It's been really the key to like my settling in here and being able to figure out my way.
How meaningful was that first phone call from Cat, going back to that? Just
Yeah.
knowing how close he is to Ryan Saunders,
Yeah.
the Saunders family.
For sure.
And seemingly he was all in with you right from the get-go.
100%. I think that was everything for me. You know, his excitement. He was ready to listen, to work, to do whatever. Didn't know me from anybody else out there. So yeah, it's just, I could tell it was genuine when we spoke, and he backed it up by allowing us to come in and change things around, and he just followed suit. And of course, we took his input along the way too. So it was good. You always have to have these relationships with your best players, with all your players, no matter, for that matter. So.
You had a phenomenally harmonious roster last year.
Yeah.
How much of that ties into that innocence factor you were talking about? And can you kind of get that kind of tight-knit pulling for each other? Is that more difficult when the pressure ramps up and expectations ramp up?
I think the tight-knit nature of our roster last year had to do with really the caliber of individuals we had more than the winning. I mean, we were pretty tight-knit when we were not playing well in the beginning of the season. Guys kept believing in each other. I think looking forward with this roster and the guys that we brought in, for the most part, I can't see any kind of personality issues, personality clashes on the horizon. When you put people under pressure, everybody reacts differently, but it's most important that we don't pull apart. I think these guys have developed an early chemistry in terms of their relationship, what they're talking about is all the right things. And I think the complementary skill sets that we have won't get in the way of anyone being able to be their best self. You know.
Chris, we talked about the culture that you're trying to build, and when you think back about how your relationship with Karl has developed over the last year and a half, how do you think that helps both on the floor and then in the locker room too?
Yeah, I think, you know, you have to be able. I'm only going to be as good as my ability or willingness to coach my best players or our best players, and you know Kat has allowed me to coach them. Ant has allowed me to coach them. D'Lo has allowed me to coach them. We get on them hard. We hold them accountable, and that's where your culture begins. You know, that plus having really high caliber individuals, which they all are all willing to put the work in, and you know, obviously be selfless in the right ways. So.
What kind of luxury is it? It seems like so much of coaching is managing personalities too.
Yeah.
When Karl's is pretty easy.
Yeah.
How much easier does that make your job?
It makes it a lot easier, of course. Like for sure. I mean, if you're having to spend a lot of time, you know, managing your roster from a personality point of view, it's less time that you can actually put into the basketball. And it's also, you know, if you have to manage the top of your roster, which we all do, but if it takes up too much bandwidth, you know, the bottom of your roster will also say like, what about me? Where's my attention? You know, and then they start acting out and stuff. So it's just a leadership by example. I think that's one of Kat's best qualities is like, you know, being a leader by example and how you handle yourself as a professional, how you allow yourself to be coached, how you know what kind of drain or strain you do or don't put on the organization. You know, everyone else has to fall in line when your best players are doing that in the right way. And then lastly, like being a high-level player, like I've told him from day one, the best thing you can do is go out there and play, you know, basketball at the high level that you can, and then everyone will believe that we can win because you're so good.
This organization has added a bunch of guys this offseason who have won playoff series, who have kind of been categorized as winners.
Yes.
How much can just the addition of those types of people with that experience help this team take a step?
Hopefully, immensely. I think when you look at last year, you know, the one thing that sticks in my mind is that, you know, we needed to mature. And that wasn't necessarily like a negative immaturity that we had. It was just a youthfulness, kind of, you know, now we have to be a little bit more business-like in our approach. And I think, you know, guys that we brought in are examples of that. Not just where they've been, but in the way that they carry themselves individually.
How much leadership do you think there is, or how much synergy do you think there is between the leadership of a guy like Rudy who has a lot of playoff experience versus a guy like Kat who has, you know, experience with all these guys that play?
Yeah, I think what I love about Rudy's leadership capabilities is his immense presence. You know, he's not just 7'2", but he's also a serious individual and serious about his craft, serious about his body, and serious about wanting to win. And you know, a young team that's not been through winning, everybody wants to win. They just don't always understand the right approaches all the time. And you know, you see that when complacency after success, or you know, sometimes hiding from failures. But you know, from what I'm understanding about the new guys, this is not in their DNA. So. Good. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
That work okay, Jim? Yeah. What's that? No. Nope, we're done.